What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode 6, matter of fact, of Late Night Lego. I'm your host, Drew Bricks, and today we have a special guest. It's Nicholas, aka Goof. Before we get into him, you can currently find all 6 episodes on YouTube right now, soon to be Spotify. I keep saying that, and I still haven't figured it out, but we'll get there soon. But yeah, so Goof, who are you?
Hey, well, first of all, thank you for having me here.
Of course.
This is my first time ever doing something like this, so it's definitely a pretty cool experience, and I'm fortunate for the opportunity. But
Yeah, definitely.
my name is Nicholas Toma, also known as Nicholas Goof.
AKA
And I'm
Goof.
just, yeah, I'm a 23-year-old. I graduated college like 2 years ago, and I have my own business, and so that's kind of like how I have. We can get into that like a little later on, but
Sure.
that's how I'm fortunate enough to like make Lego content and also have
Yeah,
time to afford the money to make Lego content.
definitely. So, with graduating college, is your degree something that's similar to with being able, like what you work with now, or what is your degree if you would like to go into that?
Yeah, no, we can go into that. So I graduated in business marketing, and a
Nice.
concentration in social media marketing.
Oh, perfect.
But it took me a while to get to that point. So
Yeah.
like freshman and sophomore year, I was undecided, and
Mhm.
then start of junior year, I was like, okay, I want to go into film study because film is really cool, all that
Yeah.
stuff. And then my professors kind of scared me off of it, and I was like, okay, let me go a little bit safer, something that's not
Sure.
like you can still do a lot with business marketing. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of the route I went down, and um, I still had no idea what I wanted to do graduating college.
Yeah.
But then I was struck with an opportunity to film for a certain company, and
Nice.
then I've been still working for them as well, and they kind of helped me decide to have my own business and have just a great schedule and a great life right now.
Yeah. Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome. That is. I feel like that is like the most awesome thing. Like being able to create your own schedule, do what you kind of want to do, and then have the opportunity to do Lego. And
Yeah,
like I don't, maybe that's just like the Lego person inside of me. Like that's just awesome. And
yeah,
because like that's like I love my job because I work 7 to 5:30, 4 days a week. So I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. And it's just like I can actually relax and like being able to have that time to actually separate and do what I want to do and create content. I feel you on that. And it's just awesome. It's just
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I'm very, very fortunate to be put in the position that I am, and
Yeah.
I'm definitely like working hard and just making sure that
Definitely.
I'm doing right in the world, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I feel like you are. I feel like you are. So before we get into your Lego story, just because you said you do business marketing, is there a reason why like you chose Instagram instead of doing like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, or
um,
what's
so
the story
yeah,
behind that?
so I guess back when I was I can't really say little kid because I was like 18, 19. I mean,
Yeah.
I made YouTube videos before that. So like at 14, I would just make like the cringy videos you'd probably laugh at and want to turn
Oh,
off
I
nowadays.
feel
But
you, dude. there's some
yeah,
there's some blacklisted YouTube accounts that I have that I will never find myself
yeah,
again.
yeah. Sometimes I'll let my friends see them, but most of
Yeah.
the time, no, no.
Right.
But eventually, I started to like make a little bit more serious content,
Mm,
and I just made like college videos, and that kind of
yeah.
did well. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can try doing some of this more, just like a day in the life, kind of that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I always, as a kid, I always like wanted to do something in film. I always was
Right.
like filming like my friends or myself, and so
Yeah.
I kind of knew I wanted to do something with that. And so the reason why I probably haven't started YouTube yet, but I eventually will,
Hmm.
is just because I've I've did that for a little while, and
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot of work. And also, like with my job now, I'm editing a lot of clients' videos and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm managing a bunch of different YouTube channels and stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel
So I
you.
get stuck with Instagram, and TikTok is kind of the same way. I mean, I'll post videos there occasionally, but
Mm.
from what I've like heard or read is that like with TikTok, you kind of have to post a bunch of videos a day, or
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I just feel like one doesn't cut it, and
Yeah.
that's a lot of content to make, regardless of what job you have or regardless of how much time you have.
Right.
Especially like for people like you and me
Yeah.
who really appreciate like film and want to put out like the best kind of content that we can and make sure it looks great and everything. So that takes a lot more time than just filming like taking out your iPhone and filming something and
Exactly.
yeah, just putting the art to your craft kind of thing. And
Right.
so I guess I just do Instagram because it's a little bit more it's a little bit more low key, you know?
Yeah. No,
But
I feel you.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. As you're saying.
No. I was just gonna say, but like I've had Instagram like all my life, so like I'm
Yeah.
also comfortable with that. I didn't really start with TikTok when it started up. So
Right. Yeah, I heard something, and I don't know if you relate to this or not, but Instagram, tell me, and this is what people have said about Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Instagram is like a great place to market yourself. You can promote yourself very well. You can get brand deals very well because you can't really make a lot of money off Instagram since they have that program that keeps coming back and forth. And I'm not all in the know, so it may be back. I don't know. But then like YouTube is like, oh, hey, there's a lot more informational. This is long content. This is like, hey, this is more deep dive. And then TikTok is like, here's the day in my life kind of feel. And would you say that's kind of true, or like how do you feel about that?
yeah, no. I 100% agree with you. I mean, a lot of the time on Instagram, like if you look at some of the longer videos, they don't really do as well because
No.
people on Instagram are scrolling.
Yeah.
And so like just scrolling to the next video. If they like it, cool, they'll watch it until they get bored.
Yeah.
Or however long you can keep them interested. But with YouTube, they're actually going like they're looking for that specific video most of the time.
Right.
Not always, but most of the time. And
Right.
so they're more likely to stay on that video and watch it. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a challenge making those videos on platforms like TikTok and social media because it's so easy to scroll as opposed to YouTube where you kind of are looking for that certain like information. So you feel like you've kind of already found it when because you're
Right.
searching for it.
Exactly. And then they added YouTube Shorts. I don't know how to feel about that. That's definitely where like you can gain a lot of subscribers really quickly.
Yeah.
But like to get monetized, you have to have 1,000 subscribers for one, and then either 4,000 hours watched on long content or 10 million views on shorts. And I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
And it's
No,
every
it's
30 days for the 10
yeah, it's a
million views. I'm
lot.
like, holy cow. I'm like, most people never get the chance to even get like 10,000 views on a shorts.
Mhm.
It's just crazy. But as I said before, we'll definitely dive into your Lego story and how you got into Lego. And so we'll do a little quick segue over to that. So I don't forget to ask that question since this is a Lego podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what is your Lego story? How did you get into Lego? Like, do you remember your first set and like your well, I'll ask more questions as we go down the line, but how did you
Mhm.
get into Lego?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess like my parents just bought me Legos as a kid. Like I feel like for it was just those younger day like Christmas times, and so
Yeah.
like they would buy me. I have an identical twin brother.
Okay.
So we would like share sets, but we would also
So
get our own sets and
is this
stuff.
Goof or his identical brother? We may never know.
Oh yeah, I mean, hey, I get confused all the time. But yeah, so I would get Lego sets as a kid, and sometimes we would share them, sometimes we wouldn't, but like we would love building them and everything.
Yeah.
And it was always Legos for Christmas. It was always Skylanders. It was
Yeah.
all the cool stuff then.
Yeah.
But Legos was definitely like a huge part of my childhood. I just loved building them, and I wish I had a lot of the sets that I had back then.
Yeah.
I think they just got donated.
Oh yeah. No, I feel that.
My first Lego set, I would say, was one of the ones I definitely remember was it was the Emperor Palpatine shuttle where he's taking Anakin.
Oh yeah. The
He's taking
Anakin.
burnt Anakin away. Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
like
definitely
that
ones
set.
I remember.
Yeah, that one was cool because like I remember as a kid getting that first set where they had the Anakin and Darth Vader switch. And then
Yeah.
in that set, they brought it back with the switch
Mhm.
inside the ship, which is cool. Like it's not accurate at all, but it's a great play feature.
Yeah, and they
And
even remade that set too.
yeah, they
Like
did.
later on, I think in like 2016 or something.
Yeah,
So that was definitely a must have when that
right.
came out.
Definitely.
Um,
I remember trying to take that set apart, dude. There was so much Technic in there. I remember just taking all the bands out of there because they had like the
yeah,
Technic rubber pieces. I was like pulling everything apart. I'm like, I don't care about this no more. I mean, I don't even remember what year that came out, but I remember being young enough to just tear that thing apart.
I'm pretty sure as a little kid, I didn't even like. I probably just thought that was like extra garbage or something.
Yeah.
Like I was just looking for like the actual Lego pieces.
Right.
I might have skipped
Right.
over some of those.
I know, right? I started speaking of like destroying sets as a kid. Like, I remember, and if my sister ever does watch these shows, which I doubt she ever will, but she follows me, so there's always that chance. I
Yeah.
remember as a kid, and she's probably gonna hate me calling her out for this. I had the Jabba, um, barge party barge set, and like the original one with like the old Viking boat pieces coming up. I remember I loved
Mhm.
that set as a kid, but I remember I wanted all the pieces. So I started taking it apart. She came in. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm taking it apart." She started crying. She's like, "Don't you ever do that." She ran down to my parents complaining that I was taking apart a Lego set.
Oh man.
And they're like, "It's his Lego set." She goes, "But it's such a cool set. Don't let him do that." I regret doing that because I
Yeah.
missed that set.
All my Lego sets that I had, I regret like taking them
Yeah.
apart, and they were just stored in one gigantic bin
Yeah.
until later in life. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I could rebuild these. But it was funny. My dad actually suggested like to glue them together at one point, just
Yeah.
because they would always end up back in that big bin full of all the Lego
Mhm.
combined.
Right. Right. I feel like either gluing them or putting them into big Ziploc bags.
Yeah,
Like that's like the way to go now. I feel like a lot of people do that because it's so easy to put back together. Oh,
yeah.
what's up? There's I don't know if you know Tyler. He's a great guy in the community. I just did a show with him a little while back, a few weeks ago. Definitely a cool dude.
Yeah.
What's up, Tyler? How's it going, man? How's it going? Glad to have you here. But yeah, so do you remember your first theme? Was it Star Wars? Like, was that like your go-to theme as a kid?
It was either Star Wars or Ninjago.
Mm,
I will say, like, yeah, definitely as a kid, it was Star Wars and Ninjago.
yeah,
Later, now it's probably still the same with just like, but I mean, Lego has gotten like so much cooler with a lot more of their themes. Like I got like Marvel or,
yeah,
um, I mean, even the Disney sets and all this. Like I've been really into all the city modulars that they have.
yeah,
But I will say that like the one set that jump started my Lego addiction again is the Disney Castle.
yeah. Really?
It was the older one.
Yeah,
Because I never got like any of the, at least I can't remember, but any of the big like the super big Lego sets as a kid. I didn't
yeah,
really. I got like a lot of good sets. I didn't get that like really high priced one, but
yeah,
that so I was like, oh, okay, now that I'm an adult, maybe I'll splurge a little bit, and so I got the Disney Castle for myself, and
yeah.
then it was just straight Lego addiction from there.
Right, dude. I can see some of the good sets back. The Daily Bugle and the Sanctum Sanctorum. That's what that's called, right? And
Yeah.
Rivendell
Or
back there, dude. You got some. Oh, is that the police station too behind your? Well, I guess your right
yeah,
shoulder.
I'm
Yeah.
getting used to the terms. Yeah. I'll connect them here and there. I still got a
Yeah.
lot of sets I gotta build and stuff, so I'm trying to switch up the shelf and keep it a
Yeah.
little bit A lot of it's like green. A lot of the shelf is just green right now, so I'm trying to get some more color in there.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Let's see, Tyler. Not gonna lie, early Ninjago slapped. I remember watching the show and it was awesome. I'm good though. How
Yeah.
are y'all, dude? We are doing golden. We are good. We are good. At least I can. I think I can speak for both of us.
No,
That we're
I'm
golden,
doing great. I'm loving being here. So
right? Dude, I remember Ninjago. Like as a kid, it was super cool. I did get tired. I'm not gonna lie, of the repetitive sets of like, okay, it's the same dragon but different colors.
Mhm.
But I remember. Do you remember the spinsters, like the blade version of that?
Yeah.
I remember my dad like loved senseis, and they had the sensei one with all the gold weapons.
Oh
And
man.
I went back home, was it last July? And it's still on a shelf unopened. So I looked it up. That thing's over like $75 right now. And I
Dang.
was like, dang, I'm like, Dad, you know how much it was? He was like, it was a gift. I'm never gonna open it up. I'm never gonna sell it. I'm like, that's a good idea right there. Just keep it like that.
Mhm.
But dude, I remember Ninjago. Ninjago had some great things. I love like because I feel like, especially like as a mock builder, if I ever want to do some sci-fi or like steampunk kind of thing, they got great pieces for that. Especially like doing it thrown into modular. And I love their modular, like the Ninjago City Gardens and all the new ones that they keep coming out with. Oh, they're just
Yeah.
chef's kiss. I have to admit.
A lot of the like Ninjago City modular sets now. I wish I had the old ones, but
Yeah.
there's a reason they're so high priced. You just can't get them anymore, and
No.
they all make one big city. But I remember watching it as a kid, and me and my brother, we would turn it on every whatever morning it was on,
Yeah.
but it was always, I think we'd watch it before school,
Yeah.
and we loved it. I mean, it was freaking great. I loved
Right,
it.
dude? It was a
And
good one.
so I think, but to be fair, I think that I might have loved the show more than the Lego sets, because most of the time I
Really?
was having the Lego Star Wars sets. But like you
Yeah.
said, the little spinjitzu
Oh,
discs,
that's what they're called. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, we would have those, and that's probably like it was that and a couple other Ninjago sets that we'd have, but
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
definitely a big part of my childhood.
Have you been, or maybe like in the last, oh, how long has it been? In the 10 years, have you been to the Legoland in California? No?
I've never been to a Legoland at all.
Oh, really?
I'll go to like I go to Disney a lot, and so
Yeah.
that's like my Legoland.
Yeah. For sure. Dude, that
Yeah.
store the wait, which Legoland? Oh wait, sorry, which Disneyland? Or
The one
Disney
in Florida.
in Florida. Oh, okay, gotcha. Um yeah, because I've wait, have I have been to that store in Florida, but I was probably at most 10 years old, dude.
Yeah. No,
But
it's crazy. It's
yeah,
I'm always in shock whenever I go there.
right. Well, I grew up right next to Disney, and so Disneyland, sorry, and in California. So I remember that big shop, and but the Disneyland, oh sorry, the Legoland in California, they have an awesome like Ninjago theme there, or
Man.
section, and they got this huge like cloud, and a whole like dojo sits on top of it. And I remember just like standing, like that thing is like 3 times as tall as me, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it is just so cool. It was definitely a
Like,
must go
Mom,
see,
get my photo real quick. You're
right? I'm
just
like,
pointing
Mom,
up
let
at
me
it.
pose.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it, Tyler? I went to Legoland Orlando just for the factory. True that. True.
Would you recommend going to like like I said, I've never been to Legoland, but would you
Mhm.
recommend, as a 23-year-old, would you recommend going there?
As almost a 25-year-old, yes.
Yeah.
So this is the best way to explain it. If you've never been, I would suggest going.
Mhm.
There's a big difference between Legoland and Lego Discovery. Lego Discovery is like going to, it's still cool. They got some cool things there, but
Mhm.
that very much feels like a kid's birthday party. And there's still some fun things, but it's definitely meant more for kids. They got a great store. No pick a brick wall that I've been to. Like I've been to the one in Chicago, no pick a brick wall. But they do right away give you a keychain with the most current thing. So like I got a Boba Fett keychain from the Lego Discovery in Chicago. And I was like,
Dang.
that is amazing.
Yeah, they're just handing
And
out samples.
yeah, they were just like, yeah, here you go. There you go. There you go. So you get a lot of cool free things from them. But the Legoland, so I have never been to Legoland in Orlando, only in California. As a kid, it was amazing. As an adult, it felt a little different. Mainly because as an adult, it's definitely geared to more kids. Like Lego, yes, is a kid's toy, but it is generational, I would say. It can reach all the masses. Legoland, it I would not say going into it, like, don't think of it as going into Disneyland. Like, there's cool rides, there's a big rise, there's all these things. It's definitely more like, okay, we're on a ride for 5 minutes and then we're done. It's more like nostalgic, kind of like I'm in the Lego
Gosh.
set kind of feel.
Yeah.
There's some they have a ride like the Brick Fairy Tale or something like that. And it was cool because everything is Lego built. So it's like going through Pirates of the Caribbean in a boat, but like everything is Lego built and it tells all the fantasy stories. And it's just so cool.
Dang. Yeah. I
Um,
mean, that's something I feel like I'll just feel like as any Lego fan, you kind of have to go at least once in your life.
yes, most definitely. Like for me, if I was in Orlando and I had the opportunity to go to Legoland Orlando, I would go.
Mhm.
But if I was in California and someone offered me, I'd be like, well, maybe if someone's paying for me to stay in the hotel, sure, I'll go, because I haven't
Yeah.
done that. But it's definitely more like plan on it being more drive towards kids. And that kind of, like a lot of the rides fit more of the kids. But I would say there's like Miniland is very cool, especially if you've never seen it in person. They had Star Wars Miniland. That was amazing because I was like,
That
that was
that
the
sounds super
closest
cool
thing to
already.
ever seeing anything minifigure scale, even though it was brick built.
Mhm.
So that was super cool. Like seeing huge old clone turbo tanks, like 3 of them all together in the Battle of Kashyyyk. And then they had Battle of Geonosis. They had the Naboo hangar with the chrome ship flying out. And it's just like, oh, it was definitely worth seeing, even as an adult, and something I could really appreciate.
Yeah.
And like, especially if you know someone that works there, or you can get in touch with someone who works there, because we had family friends who their brother worked at Legoland in the sound effects division. So all the sound effects you heard on all the rides, he did. And so it was like super cool. Like he showed us all the back scenes on how he made everything, where he made
Uh-huh.
everything. And that was definitely really, really, really worth it.
Yeah.
Sadly, he doesn't work there anymore, but that was definitely
Yeah, I was
worth
gonna
it.
say, can I get that same experience?
Right. Let's
Um,
see.
that's really cool though, because that reminded me of when you were talking about all the big displays and everything. One of
Yeah.
my goals is to eventually go to a Lego convention.
Yeah.
Regardless of
Same,
like,
dude.
I've never been,
Yeah.
and everything I see on social media just looks super super cool.
Yeah.
And all the builds, I mean, you can only dream of building something like that. I mean, I'm always watching Lego Masters or something like that, and I'm like, like I wonder if I could ever be like that. And I
Right.
definitely can't, but
Yeah.
like seeing all those things at all the conventions and everything, it just looks amazing.
Right, dude. I agree. It's like I haven't been to a convention either. And I am dying to go to a convention, especially now that I live in Tennessee. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, Bama is right next to me. Georgia, Atlanta is right. Atlanta is 2 hours away from me. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's easy to get to. Virginia is a little bit of a stretch, but it could happen. Chicago, that's a flight. But it's like oh, everything is right there. I don't know if I would display anything though. Maybe to Bama or Atlanta, but I
Yeah.
really want to go to Chicago because okay, I've never been, but Chicago apparently is the one that everyone goes to.
Okay.
And if I was going to that one, I wouldn't bring anything besides just myself and a lot of money. But
Yeah. Hey, you got
that's my two
the
cents.
Jedi Temple though.
Yeah, yeah. Although I don't know if I mean it's sturdy as all get out, but I ain't gonna try to fly with that thing.
We'll make it a goal to go together since we've never been.
Yeah. I like that. I like the idea of that. I like the idea of that because you still live in Florida?
No, no, no. I don't even live in Florida. I was just saying that's where I
Oh,
go on vacation.
oh,
I'm actually
gotcha.
from New Jersey.
Oh, really?
And then it wasn't until I went to college in North Carolina that I
Okay.
moved down to North Carolina, and my family moved down to North Carolina. So I'm
Yeah.
in North Carolina now, but most of my
Okay.
life was spent in New Jersey.
Nice. Nice. Dude. So you're just 4 hours away from me then.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, depending on where you're at. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, it'd be definitely cool to see you there. And I think it'd be really cool, especially like at the next one that I go to, I would love to do like a live show with everyone that's been a guest and like have
Yeah.
15-minute segments of everyone coming in and out and like even just like or a group thing and one
Mhm.
mic, it would just be fun to
Yeah.
have like a cool thing like that.
You should just do
Let's
like
see here.
it's like a speed dating thing. You just have a chair. You have a
Yeah.
chair. You just sit down in it. You ask a question.
I
Next.
just right, dude, or have like a get the hotel sheet and put it up. Can you guess this Lego creator?
Yeah. 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 Exactly. There you go.
That would be pretty sick. That'd be pretty sick. Tyler, yes, absolutely. Once it's pretty much just to see Miniland and get parts. That is 100% true. Except at my experience, the California one, I never got any parts. It was only sets, which was a little bit frustrating. He also said, "Dude, Teth and Kashyyyk at Miniland is insane. I remember the first time the Teth buildings were taller than me, and it was nuts to look up and see the Lego buildings. I agree, dude. Those were pretty sick." Yes, we will definitely carpool. Dude, we could all three carpool now.
Oh. Oh yeah. Oh hey, I'm game. I'm game.
Right? Right? This is odd that we're all like, dude, I agree. It's just like, it's always a touchy subject, I'd have to say, of like asking people where they live. Because not everyone wants to share where they're from and stuff like that. Like I
Yeah.
remember I said like one of my early videos, oh yeah, all my collection is still in California. And now that I'm in a different state, I'm having to rebuild. And someone put in the comments, what state are you from? And I was like, I didn't know if I should say it or not. And I was like, the state of confusion. And that's all that I left it at. And I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't really matter if people know I'm from the state of Tennessee
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But everyone has their own privacy and stuff like that. But it is pretty wild that we're all just a few hours from each other. And I feel like there's a lot more Lego creators that are more like, I don't know if it's just because YouTube and Instagram and TikTok have gotten better at like who's in your immediate circle besides like the big people of like who's nearest with you within 10 hours or something,
Mhm.
that like you're actually like meeting people that are really, really close to you. And I think that's however that's working, that is super cool.
Yeah.
And so
Keep it up,
it's
YouTube. Keep it up,
right.
Instagram.
Keep it up. Come on, guys. Show me people who are cool close to me.
Yeah, but I mean that's one of the reasons why like I created my like Lego channel and stuff is just
Yeah.
to meet all these people, like people like you and just a bunch of people who've reached out before.
Yeah.
Because I obviously have my friend group and we talk about Legos like just as much as like I probably talk about with anybody else.
Yeah.
But it's never the same unless it's someone who's like just equally as passionate about it.
Right.
And
Right.
so that like just creating a community and just meeting people like that has been like one of the biggest goals of mine.
Yeah. No, I agree. I remember like when I made this podcast, like I was talking to my girlfriend about it and some other friends and stuff like that, like trying to pick their idea. Like, is this a good idea? I'm like, because I see there's success in it, but I'm like, I had to remember, what am I doing this for? Am I doing this for the success and blowing up in the views, or am I doing this to actually meet people? And I'm like, I was making all these videos and like I started getting tractions, follows, and likes. I'm like, but I don't know anybody. And I remember I reached out to Shy and I'm like, hey man, like, do you have any suggestions like for starting a podcast or just even like getting better in the community? He goes, dude, join a local lug. And I was like, how do I even find that? That dude searched it up for me. He goes, dude, here's one for Tennessee. And sadly, it didn't work out for me to join because their headquarters are actually in Alabama and they have one in Knoxville. And I'm like, that's like,
Oh,
it's far either way for me for the chapters or they call them chapters. But I was like, just even him saying like searching that up for me, he knew what to do. And it's like, there's people like that out in the community that are just awesome, that actually care. And,
mm,
and like Brick Hive and all these other people that are just Tyler, Cosmic, Two Bricks. And it's like all these people truly, truly care, And starting this podcast, I was like, it is literally like being in each other's Lego rooms, but on one. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's such a cool but weird feeling. Like, this is my Lego room. It's like bringing me back to a kid of like, we're in a Lego room together. We're creating, even though we're just chilling and talking about life and Lego. It's like, it feels that connection all over again
Yeah.
that some people had as a kid and some people didn't have as a kid, you know? And it's a good feeling and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Like, I mean, we were just talking about it before, like 10-year-old
Yeah.
us, like we would be through the roof to be doing stuff like this now.
Right.
And we still are,
Right.
but it's just like, it's always just hard to, it's just crazy to picture yourself in the position that you are in now.
Yeah.
And, but I will say, going back to what you were talking about before, where, you know, you always want to have a purpose with the videos that you make and everything. I do say, like, being new on Instagram, or like just being new at making this kind of content and stuff, I will say, like, that's something that is probably one of the hardest things about um just having this page, and like I said, creating content, is just finding that balance. Because a lot of the time, like for me, I'm putting in a lot of work with filming and stuff. But a lot of the time you can just take your phone and make like the quickest video, and that one's going to blow up. But the one that you work so hard on,
Yeah.
and the one that you're so passionate about, might not. And so that's
Right.
like one of the things that I'm definitely learning in like the 60 days that I've been doing this. But
Yeah.
it's always good. It's always a good time to reflect and just remember that, like, hey, you're doing this because you love it, and you're doing this because you love talking to other people about Lego.
Yeah.
And so, but that's just something that came to mind when he said that.
Yeah. No, definitely. And especially talking about like the 60 days, it's so true. Cause like the analytics don't come out until 28 or 29 days later. But then doing 60 days, it's like it truly shows like, okay, I've definitely picked up traction. I'm gaining followers, I'm getting the views, and I'm getting quality people who are joining me in my journey that want to see my progress and my progression in the whole 9 yards. And I know I've only like known you for like a couple of weeks now. But dude, like just even a couple, like you jumped 100 followers since I first found you and followed you. And I'm like, dude, you are on the right track. You got to keep
Yeah.
doing what you're doing. You're definitely doing what you were made to do, especially in this Lego community. So don't stop.
No, thank you. No, that means a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll respond to every person that comments, or at least I'll try to. Sometimes I'm a little bit busy. Most of the time, though, I am responding to everybody who comments, because I really like just creating that like one-on-one connection. Like they might say something so stupid, but I'll probably either laugh at it, or
Right.
I'll just still like it, because I think it, like, I just think it's
Yeah.
cool that someone took time out of their day to talk about Lego, or to
Exactly.
just comment something crazy.
Right.
And like that's just something that means a lot to me. So like most of the time when I'm not like creating videos and stuff, and I'm not doing work, I'll usually be on my phone talking to other people about Lego, or I'll be looking at Lego YouTube videos or something like that.
Exactly. I'm like, I got all my reminders set for like when people post for something. I'm like, there it is. I got to see, you know, and also see like what's trending and like what people are really enjoying, you know, and it's cool to see, like, because since I started, like I've gained more friends and great fellowships, and it's like it's awesome to see people grow in that and like have that creative idea and like having the bros that you wish you had when you were 10, you know. And it's just like it's like you never thought, like, boom, 10 years ago, like, dude, I'd be meeting, first off, living in Tennessee, starting a podcast, but like meeting people who have the same energy and the same drive and the same desire of Lego and passion and content creation for the people. And it's like, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. I feel like I might be repeating myself, but it just makes me feel very happy.
No, yeah, I feel like you and me, we both get like super giddy talking about this stuff, because it just shows that like it's what makes us happy and stuff.
Exactly.
But I will definitely try out the joining a group. I haven't even really thought about that.
Yeah.
Normally I'm just talking about it with my friends and stuff, so I haven't really thought to really like branch out there. But I'm definitely gonna try that.
I will say it is intense
Oh,
because
really?
before you join, like it may fit it mainly it was intense because it didn't fit my schedule. If it was like in the same city area that I live in, I would be in it. But since it's a 2-hour drive just one way to get to the chapter or the group, because they want to meet every 2 Sundays or something like that. I'm like, it's a lot of money just to
Oh,
be a part of
so
that. And then
it's an in-person
a lot of the
thing?
time it is in person. And because like they start doing like conventions and stuff just for local communities, like at libraries for kids and stuff like that. And so like, which is totally awesome. And you get to meet a ton of great people, especially people like in person,
Yeah.
but it is like very demanding, and which it fits a lot of people's schedule. It just didn't happen. This one didn't happen to fit my schedule in life, and so which I was kind of quite bummed about. But some of them require a fee, some of them don't. But the one I was didn't require a fee. But it's definitely something that like if you're in it full time, and so that's why I'm like the online stuff I can commit to so much more than the in person stuff. But yeah.
No,
But
it
if you
does
have the
sound really.
opportunity, do it, dude.
Yeah.
It is worth it. It is
Yeah, I'm definitely
100%
gonna
worth
look
it.
into something like that.
Let's see. We got another thing from Tyler. Oh, the lag. There we go. Just want to put this out there. I am so happy Bricklink is back. Already placed an order, or maybe 6.
I was thinking about that. I saw that
Dude,
today.
when it came up, I started placing in an order. I'm not gonna lie. I have been, what is it, 3 days sober without buying a Bricklink order. I can't fail
You're gonna
now.
make it. You're gonna make it.
You can make it, man. You can make it to day 3.
Yeah, I just saw that today. It was those the two big things that happened today, I guess, in the Lego
Yeah,
community was Bricklink was back up and the Avengers Tower got like
yeah.
officially released.
Dude, that
And
thing
that's
is
definitely gonna
massive.
be either on my list or a big hole in my wallet.
Right? I feel that. I was like, the fact that I because they came out with one before, but in my opinion, it was so small.
Yeah.
And it was definitely more a play feature one. I will say this one also is a play feature one, but there's so much like it's more like staging the figures more than
Yeah, yeah.
play. And I think it's amazing. I feel like they make a lot of like the black box, the black wall sets, but I feel like they nailed this one. I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, but I feel like they nailed it. The amount of
Yeah.
figures, the amount of scenes that they added in. Like they have the after the credit with them eating at the shawarma restaurant or the
Mhm.
Mediterranean restaurant. That was beautiful. I thought that was amazing. I
Yeah.
loved watching that video where they first revealed it today, and you just hear everyone going, "Oh, oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh."
It's like that, you ever see that meme where it's like a big screen and everyone's cheering in a bar or
Yeah,
something, and it's
yeah,
just a bunch of, like, clips
yeah.
from yeah, exactly.
I
It's
love
like
the one where
that.
they do it with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he jumps down there, he goes, "Hello there," and everyone's like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Oh, man, that's good. Yeah, but that's definitely a set that's gonna be on my list, and, I'm
Yeah,
sure it'll be on a lot of people's list this Black Friday.
right. And it's at a reasonable price already. It's like $530, right?
Yeah, I
Or is it?
made well, so I just realized that today I made a mistake. I was going off of so because there was no like official announcement on one of
Mm,
like the Avengers Tower, I made a reel that like I do every month where it's
yeah.
like cheap Lego sets to buy, and then you just put a big gigantic set in there with
Yeah.
uh with booming music in the
Oh
back.
yeah.
And so I made the mistake and I was following off of, I think it was like 14 Falcon fan or whatever. I forgot his account name. Something along the
Oh,
lines
the
of that.
1414 Falcon something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the leak that he said had the price at like 524.99 or something like
Mhm.
that. And so that's what I put in my reel. And then I just saw today that it's even cheaper because it's 499
Yeah.
and not 524.99. So I'm slacking. I'm in
Dude,
trouble.
just come on, man. You can't mislead the community
Yeah,
like it's
I'm
that's the
I'm in
extra
trouble.
25 is for 2 gifts of purchases. You've
Yeah,
heard it here. That's what it's for.
yeah. I was just including the tax. If anyone
Yeah.
asks,
You're
yeah,
adding
I
the
wish.
bag
I
fee, the
wish.
baggage fee, because you have to walk out with a cloth bag instead of the
Yeah.
plastic ones. So, have they announced anything for the gift with purchases for that one? Or
It's like a small like taxi with like two of the Chitauri
oh,
aliens,
cool.
and then I think like Black Panther.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that because like honestly, I do not keep up to date at all with the gifts of purchases unless Falcon posts about it.
Yeah.
And
There you go.
like the fact that he brought it up, or the not that he didn't bring it up, but the what is it? The is it called Gringotts Bank or
Mhm.
the Harry Potter? That was cool with the extra piggy bank. I thought that was brilliant. That was a
Yeah.
great add to set. And I was kind of curious if they would do the same thing. I was kind of disappointed they didn't do one for the Venator, but
Hey, I'm right there with you.
it's something about the Star Wars, man. Something
Did
about
you end up getting the UCS Venator?
no, man, I'm broke. What's if I ever join land, that'll be the first thing I ask for. But
Yeah, hey, you'll get there. You'll get there.
yeah, right, right. But you got the Venator, right? What's that like,
Yeah,
man?
yeah. I got
What's
it
that like?
like I was like I haven't even built it yet actually.
Really?
Um
How come?
yeah, it's like it's kind of a secret thing right now that I
Okay,
got going on that
sure,
I can't
sure,
really
sure,
talk about, but
for sure.
I will be building it soon.
Excellent.
But uh the I got it like 6 or 7 days after, and I kept
Yeah,
my fingers crossed that the promo was still going to be available.
yeah,
But it's because I could have ordered it online, but I really wanted to go like see it in person and get it in person.
yeah.
And was going to Disney World around then,
Mm,
so I was hoping that I could get like the gift with purchase. Well, my goal was to get the UCS Venator when I went to the Lego store there,
yeah,
and then I'd be able to like film it, blah blah blah.
yeah.
And then when I got there, I was like, oh, like I feel like and there was no gift with purchases left at that point because
Mm-hmm,
it sold out in like 3 days.
mm-hmm.
And so by that point, when I got it, or when I was there, I got it, but I was like, dang, I missed out on the promo. I think
Yeah.
VIP points, or like double VIP, was another like week away or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, I really like want to get this, and I really want to film content with it. So I bought it, and I've only filmed some content with it, but
Yeah,
eventually I will. And but I missed out on that promo, and
yeah.
um, I I was like iffy on it first, and I was kind of bummed. But looking
Mm,
back on it, I'm like, it was probably just gonna be put in a drawer because it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything that could go with the set,
yeah,
or like can attach to it, or like is remotely like close to Lego. But
yeah.
like I still like love Lego for putting gift with purchases out. Like you really can't complain.
No, you can't. You can't. It's I did like the card. I like the color of the promo because you're talking about the Rex and Commander and the card that comes with it, right?
Yeah. The
That's the
card was
promo. Okay.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with
I
you. The
didn't
card
know
was
how I
cool.
feel about the patches because like I'm not one to just put a patch on something, especially if I'm technically paying $650 for a patch and a card, to come with it. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna ruin that patch. I wish it was like a plaque that they could all like you could use the box to stand up 3 metal pieces, you know. That would have
Yeah.
been super cool. I mean, it's still cool that they did something because they've done something like that in the past. I can't remember what for, but definitely cool idea. I
Mhm.
like it. I like it. But speaking that you have bought in the Venator, how do you feel about the new leak about the Captain Rex coming out in the
I'm
$13 set?
To be honest, I'm a little iffy on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually really happy that people can get it,
Yeah.
and I feel like if I was like super disappointed or stuff, then I would kind of just be like like a scalper or something, you know,
Mm,
like if I'm like, but I do, it's tough, you know, you call me
yeah.
speechless here because it's tough. Like half of me is like, oh, I spent $650
Yeah.
on it, so I should be like having an exclusive minifigure.
Yeah.
But the other half of me is like, and more people be able to get it. Like if I wasn't in the position to where I didn't have the Venator, like I
Yeah.
would be super happy. So I really can't. I really can't be mad at it. Like
Yeah.
sure, I'm like, oh, you know, I did spend
Yeah.
this much.
Like
But
it kind of stung a little.
yeah, exactly. Like I
Yeah.
can't really feel too bad because now everybody can get it.
Right. Now everyone
But
may have the Rex, but not everyone has the UCS Venator though.
yeah, that's what we go by.
Right. Right. But no, I feel like if I had the Venator and I paid the price for it because I feel like the Captain Rex totally sold that set for sure. Like got more
Yeah, it did.
people who really love Clone Wars getting that set because it came with the Rex from the last season of Clone Wars.
Yeah, he had that little like patch
Yeah,
on
little
from the
patch from
inhibitor
the
chip.
removing the chip. Yeah. And it's like I didn't even get the set and I felt frustrated for the people who got the set. I'm like, oh now see if it was it's is it Captain or Commander? What's the other guy's name? I can never remember what his name is, but I hear his
um
voice all the time.
Grand Admiral like Yularen.
Yeah, Yularen. That's right. That's right. It's cool that we get him. It would have been cool if that came in the Y wing
Yeah.
instead of Captain Rex. I feel like that would have been a more fair trade for the people who bought the Venator, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's still
I,
cool. I'm excited because I didn't get the
yeah.
Venator. I get a cool
Yeah,
Rex.
hey, I'm
But
happy for you, you know.
yeah.
I just think I still have like my doubts. I know
Yeah.
like a lot of like leaks like tend to be true, but
Yeah.
I feel like something's got to be missing. There's just no way.
Right.
I am in a little bit disbelief. Like I feel
Yeah.
like maybe the scar won't be there or the
Yeah.
little like when's the last time I haven't really kept up with all the little micro scale. What do they call
Mhm.
them? The little
Oh, micro fighters or something
yeah,
like that.
micro
Yeah.
fighters. So I haven't kept up with that stuff, but I can't remember if they do usually include like waist capes and like shoulder pads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I
Um,
feel like one of these things is going to be missing. But
yeah.
man, that's probably just some cope, some disbelief.
I to go off that before I dive into that, I feel bad for the guys who paid or the girls, I guess, the people who paid
Mhm.
$75 for Captain Rex just to find out that he's going to come in a $13 set. Now, someone could totally be pulling our leg right now,
Yeah,
but Falcon has never lied to us. The people that he gets his source from has never lied to us.
exactly,
But you know,
exactly.
there's always that chance. There's always that chance that someone's pulling a prank. But yeah, going off of what you were talking about with the waist cape and the pauldrons, I feel like the microfighters are Lego Star Wars version of polybags. Because in the polybags that come in all the other themes, like the Batman polybag, that is brilliant. That was great. You get a cool custom, not custom, but you get the Batman from I think was it actually from the Batcave Shadow Box set or one of his outfits
Mhm.
because that thing was sick. That was like
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that until I saw a review and I said I'm getting it. I went straight to Walmart after watching that video and I picked up that one and the Ninjago one because it's like
you
those
find
are
them at Walmart. I can never find
yeah.
any of them. Wow, you're
Well,
lucky.
well, my Walmart is not that great, but you know what's left there right now is the Dream ones. That's all that's there. The Ninjago
Uh,
ones and the Batman ones are gone.
yeah,
but
I bet.
but yeah, I feel like they're gonna do something to kind of. I think I think they deserve to do something that's different than what the Venator one was. That's my personal opinion. Just because, like, come on, like maybe this is just me as a Lego Star Wars fan, but I feel like the Star Wars fans always get gypped somehow, and it may not be all of us at once, but it's a majority of people that
Yeah.
get gypped. You know,
Like if it's not me now, it's gonna be future me when I go for a
yeah,
different set or something like that.
exactly.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
get that. But I'm not I'm not too disappointed because like look how happy you were that now you can get a Captain Rex.
Right? I'm stoked, man. I'm through the roof. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, do I need the Venator? But you know what set I really want right now is that Viking Village set, dude. Have you seen that?
I've seen that. I'm
I
like a
want that one
pretty
so bad.
I'm a pretty big like anime kind of guy.
Okay.
So there's like a Viking anime called Vinland Saga,
Okay.
and that like is like the closest thing I probably will ever see towards anime, unless you count all the Overwatches and stuff like that.
Oh,
from
true.
the video games and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that set is really cool.
It's only $130, and you get great features, a great set, and great minifigures. I'm like,
Yeah,
it was just it's just one. I saw it at Target the other day, and I was like, and my girlfriend's like, "Don't buy it. Your birthday's literally 2 weeks away. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it." I'm like,
yeah.
Are you getting this for me? Side eyeing a little.
Yeah, is that a hint?
Is that a hint? That's the only thing I put on my list.
It's always those sets that like that's a very detailed set, the Viking set. It's always those sets that make me feel like they were. Did somebody build that or stupid question?
Oh, the ideas or the voting kind of.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I thought that at first too, but then I don't think the boat was an idea set. Was it?
Okay.
I don't think it was. I think this is just their Viking line, because I remember the Viking sets as a kid, and I had the big Viking fortress with the custom wood walls. Oh, I love finding those in my collection. And having the big sea serpent with the ship and some other ones. But that was like a set that I wish not set, but a series or theme, I guess, that I wish they kept going with. But I'm glad they're bringing it back to some degree, and it's just super nostalgic. I like Viking stuff, and like what you're saying, like I'm not a big anime fan, but like The Last Airbender, I wish they came out with Lego sets for The Last Airbender, dude.
Yeah, I can never.
Oh, that was
never get my hands on that now, but those sets are cool.
I'm like, oh, I was watching this series. I'm like, oh, how much is Aang on Bricklink? $32. Never mind. Maybe I'll get that in a little bit, but when I get paid more. But maybe another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Is there a theme you wish they did or would bring back?
Well, you kind of when you were talking about like your childhood, like with the Viking sets and stuff, I completely forgot to say that a lot of my childhood was also I think it was called Kingdoms. Like the four knights that were like red, green, purple, and blue.
Yes, dude.
So I had those sets. I remember I would like lose some pieces from that set, and so I would buy the set again, like just to have the minifigures again. I loved the minifigures,
dude. Those minifigures were awesome.
Yeah, and Bionicle too. So that's kind of like what came to mind when you asked that question.
Yeah,
I was totally after that gift with purchase when they had the. Have you seen the Bionicle gift with purchase?
Oh yes. They brought back. I forget what his name is, but he's the red one.
It's like Tahu or
yeah.
I'm like something like that. And so it's not actually like the same like Bionicle pieces that you see back then, but I really hope that Lego does something with that, because a lot of people love Bionicle.
Yeah, they do. I remember the most vivid things I remember of Bionicle were some of those figures, but I really remember the sets that they made with the minifigure Bionicles, and when they did like hockey players with Bionicle features. Those are the ones I really remember. Yeah, it's old school, dude. Like I barely remember as a kid, but yeah, like they had like hockey players, like with the jerseys, and like a face was a Bionicle face kind of thing. and it's like not very many people remember it, but it's so old and it was so cool and it was just rare. Now on Bricklink, it's probably only worth like $2, but it was cool as a kid to play, because like it would swing back and you can fling it, and like the hockey puck and stuff like that. But yeah, and whenever someone like talks about Bionicle, that's the thing I remember.
Yeah,
because I think they only had one wave. It was like I I remember getting the NBA basketball Lego sets and like having Shaq, and you could spring load him back. And that was, I guess they got like the NBA and Lego just like kind of clash heads, and Lego's like, okay, we're done. They like pulled them all off the shelves. They threw everything away. And like Lego sets, I guess, were like, they took out the minifigures, threw them away, and then put all the parts as grab bags and stuff. And I'm like,
Oh,
I couldn't even imagine that. That's just crazy. Like,
yeah. I remember seeing that in some NBA stores, like just
yeah,
like them promoting the small little basketball figures that you sling
yeah.
back and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they had them with the soccer players, and they brought back soccer, so maybe they'll bring back basketball.
Yeah,
That was a
fingers
right,
crossed.
fingers crossed. Oh yeah. So, is there a least favorite set you have, or that you saw that you're like, I am never gonna get? Like, why would that ever happen?
Um, you stumped me with this one. Let's see. I mean, there's like, I don't know. I see a lot of people like the Friends Lego sets.
Mm.
And maybe that's just because I'm used to Star Wars and stuff. But I can't.
I
I
feel
can't.
you. I feel you. I mean,
Like a lot of their buildings are really
oh,
cool.
they're
Like I will
amazing.
give props to them. They're doing something right.
Yeah.
But
I feel like it's the figures that are throwing me off.
yeah, if they were minifigures, I'd buy them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd be on board.
Exactly. Well, and I feel like the reason why they changed the minifigures, and it just dawned on me now, and hopefully I don't get any flack for this, but I feel like if they changed the minifigures to be normal minifigures, it would be a city set. And the
Oh,
fact that it's a completely different minifigure totally changes the mindset
no, you're
of
right.
like, oh yeah, no, this is different. This is different.
Yeah, I didn't even
But
think
like
about that.
it just dawned, because like that's the only thing that is really different besides the animals, some of the animals.
Yeah.
But it's like that's the only difference between a city set and that. Which, I mean, like, hey, the friend sets are amazing. They have, I mean, most of the crazy good elements are from friend sets. Like, I think there's an element in friend sets that starred in or was a main piece in the X-wing UCS fighter.
Oh dang.
And
Yeah.
so it's like the honey pot or something like that. I heard something about that. I may be completely wrong, but it's like Friends is definitely a way to bring in new elements to the Lego community that if only like you're paying attention, will you actually catch, you know?
Yeah, and
And
I'm probably digging myself a hole by saying that like but Friends is really cool.
yeah,
I think it's just like you said, it's just the minifigures, because then
yeah,
like the fact that they have the mini, like they call them mini dolls, I think. The fact
yeah,
that it makes me feel like if I were to just switch it out, because people would probably just be like, "Oh, just switch it out for a minifigure." Like you can still buy
yeah,
the set. But I feel like it's just like it just means that the building isn't meant for the minifigures, it's meant for those mini dolls.
yeah, exactly.
But it kind of reminds me like I was the Elsa castle. Like if they made the Elsa castle with like the Frozen minifigures, I would totally get it, but I didn't really
Yeah,
like want mini dolls.
yeah. No, I feel
It
it.
it just wasn't for me. So, but I love their sets, and
Yeah,
so I'll probably never get one of those. But you know what? Maybe there will be a day. I will change one
right.
day. I'm sure.
Well, like that one with the it's like a garden or a greenhouse with those cool trans clear pieces. I was like,
Yeah.
oops, sorry. That was like amazing. And I love
Mhm.
that. But I'm like, am I just paying however much? Like, that's probably like what, a $70 to $100 set. And I'm like, am I just paying $70 for a trans clear window piece?
Mm. You know what? We should both make it a goal to review a Lego Friends set one day, and
Yes,
we will not say anything bad about it. We will only have good
exactly.
things to say.
Exactly. And it can't be no little $5 or poly bag. It actually
Yeah.
has to be at least a $35 set or higher.
And if we want to, we'll switch out the dolls for minifigures.
Right? And prove
If
the theory
if
it is
so.
just a city set. No,
Hey, you might be onto something. You should compare Lego Friends to Lego, like just compare, like, if I switched out
Right?
minifigures, would this be considered a Lego City set? Because
Yeah.
you're onto something there.
I right. I'm like, it's like just a slight different, and I feel like it's the minifigures that have totally changed the concept of it, which was brilliant. Lego brilliantly
Yeah,
did that,
I
and
think
they
it's I
totally
think
made a
it's
new
actually like
category.
one of the best selling themes. So
Yeah,
they're killing it.
they're killing it, and it's like, oh, dude. Speaking of best selling thing, it just every time I hear best selling themes, I just think of Star Wars, and the way they could become even better was once they do CMF for Lego Star Wars figures, dude. Oh my goodness, I
I
will buy
think
the whole package.
I think I heard they're never gonna do that.
I bet you it's probably a licensing thing,
Yeah.
but oh, man, if they did that, I mean, but then it's owned by Disney, and Disney's done their own CMF, or Lego's done Disney CMF. So it's like, what's the holdback, man?
For Yeah, and if you want to get even more technical, they did it for their like own Disney theme, but they also did it for Marvel, and Marvel
Yep.
is owned by Disney. So
Yep.
technically, they made two already.
Exactly.
Why not third
Exactly.
time's the charm?
That's what I'm saying. And I mean, also did it for. I mean, Batman isn't owned by Disney, but they did it for Batman too, right?
Yeah, for the Batman
Yeah, they
movie.
did. They
Yeah,
did for the Bat. Well, I guess they can own that. And then they did it for something else. Well, Harry Potter, that's not Disney, but that's another big franchise. And it's like,
right. I see where you're
man,
getting at.
I
Yeah.
just, oh,
Hey, missed opportunity. I'm sure there's definitely some reason behind it that we don't know, because
yeah,
Lego's smart. They know that everyone would go
yeah.
after that.
Well, and I guess we do get probably more sets than everyone else does. I would have to say, as a Star
Yeah.
Wars fan, we probably do get more sets, more repeats of sets, but definitely more sets. And I feel like it's a community that the Lego group listens to. Like, we're like, we want a 501st battle pack. 6 months later, 501st battle pack,
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like, now that I think about it, that's like the makeup for it. And
Yeah.
where it kind of evens out, like, well, we listen to you guys more. We're trying to get people up here, But yeah, I know we've hit an hour, but before we go, with your channel, is there certain things you wanting to do, or certain goals you want to hit, or obviously being a success and becoming well known is definitely a number one goal.
Yeah.
That's why we get into it, because we want to make people smile, make people happy, make
Yeah. We
ourselves
want to have
happy.
a voice,
Create a
a voice
community.
for others.
Exactly. But is there? Because I know, like, I don't know, mocking may not be your full time, like, full interest. Is that something you'll ever be interested in, or like, is there, like, what goals do you have, and what's something like you may be interested venturing into? I guess that's a good
Yeah.
way to say it.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. I would say so. I have a couple like small goals, and like I have goals, and then I have reach goals, and reach goals are stuff that I will hit later on in life. But my small goals at the moment are probably to hit like 1,000 followers by the end of the year,
Yeah.
and
Good
then
goal.
um and then just I'm sure I'll set more follower goals eventually. But in terms of just creating like Lego content, I definitely want to find a niche, which is just a certain focus, and I'm not sure what that is yet. Kind of starting out, I'm just trying a bunch of different things and seeing what works and what doesn't.
Sure.
And I also do want to find something that like I'm also passionate about. Like, just because it works doesn't mean I'm gonna continue to do it. Like, it might be super nice, but like there's no point in doing something that you're just doing to put on a show. Like it'll eventually show that you don't actually, like, your focus is somewhere else, or you care about something more than something else.
Right.
One of the things that I will say, I'll give you a sneak peek. One of the videos coming out soon is I'm currently working on a Lego like winter village.
Yeah.
And so while I'm still like building the classic like winter village sets, I am like creating my own like street and kind of getting
So
ideas.
you are
on
doing
that.
some mocking.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so
Heck yeah.
that's something that I'm sure I'll get into eventually. But hey, that's just more. You just need a lot more space for that. So I think once I
Yeah.
have like a I don't know, once I have the space for it is when I'll
Sure.
start doing it. But I am building a very small winter village this Christmas.
Heck
So
yeah. Heck yeah.
stay tuned for that.
Dude, I'm actually very excited to see that because you did that Spider-Man reel where you had I don't know, was that from the gameplay, that audio sound, or was that
Yeah.
someone yeah, dude, that was so awesome. And I am so looking forward to what type of reel you make, especially creating more into it. I
Hmm.
am very excited because I
Thank you, man.
love
Thank
that
you.
video. It was like it's not like it's simple and it was easy to make because there's definitely a lot of hours you put into that and coming up with that and creating that and figuring out the shot that you want.
Yeah.
And I just have such an appreciation for that. I'm like, and it was so simple an idea, like it's easy to digest, but it's hard to make. I think you get what I'm saying. I'm not
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
discredit you in any way,
No,
but
no, I get what
I
you're
am
saying.
very excited to see what you do with the Winter Village, especially after seeing that. No pressure, but
No, no, no. Thank you.
I am
Thank you.
I'm so
I will say
excited.
I'm taking I will probably also be doing that, and then I'm kind of also going through like the process of like, so not only just like shots of what I'm doing, but
Yeah.
also like the process and kind of just making jokes at it.
Yeah.
Like for the first video I'm gonna have, it's like I really only have I'm only really building a base plate. So like
Sure.
how entertaining can that really be for people?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to make it in like a fun and positive way as it can, because
Yeah.
not all Lego not all Lego content is super fun to watch. So just trying
Yeah.
to that's kind of like what I want to do with my videos, is just make content that is fun for people and is also fun
Exactly.
for me.
Right. Exactly. And going off of that is like where it's like, okay, this is a base plate. How can I make this entertaining?
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that a lot. And like, what is my like the Jedi Temple? Okay, I have this. What's my next step? And when you said that, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna share my idea with you that I have.
Yeah.
Tell me if this has happened. People always ask you, even people who are in the Lego community and who are not in the Lego community, they always ask you, how long did that take you? What did do you just take that apart when you're done? What
Yeah.
did you do? And I kept brainstorming. I'm like, dude, you know what someone hasn't done is a series, especially I feel like would work perfectly with short-term content
Yeah.
or a short form content is this is what I built in 30 minutes. And it's a whole series that leads to a bigger thing. And it's like you could do like I'm thinking about doing a Minecraft one or a Skyrim one, but it's like this is what I did in 30 minutes. And it shows the daily struggle of like, okay, for 30 minutes, I built only something that was only 4 by 16 and like only 3 bricks high because mental block, I was stuck. But then the next day, it's like, boom, I cranked out all this stuff. And I feel like that's something people would be interested to see. And I'm like, I feel
Yeah.
like that would work really well. And especially with your film critique and ideas that you have, I think you could really master that. And that's something you take it if you want,
Yeah.
but I feel like that could be something that
No,
could be a
no,
good
that's a
idea.
good idea. I will say it's fun to brainstorm.
Yeah.
And then I guess one last tip like I have for like people who are creating content and
Yeah.
stuff like that is just like when I started out, and I know it's only been like 2 months, but when I started out, I would just look at what I found funny. I would go
Yeah.
back into my Instagram like account, and I'd be like, "Oh, what did I save that was funny? Like, what did I ever send my friends or something like that?" And I'll
Yeah.
look at that piece of content and I'll be like, "Okay, how can I turn this into something creative with Lego? Or like
Yeah.
how can this be relatable with Lego?" And so that's actually where a lot of my content comes from.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
You answered my question before I can ask. I was gonna say if there was someone who was thinking about starting an Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok, what would you say? You just said it.
Yeah, yeah. And always just, have fun with it.
Yeah,
Make it you.
make it you. Be
That's
yourself.
yeah. I
Like,
that's why I was like, if I could always just like, I don't know, anybody can do it, but as long as you're having fun,
yeah,
like that's the most important part. Otherwise, you're never going to
exactly.
enjoy it.
Listen to your body, because when you don't feel like you can make quality content, don't make it. Wait till the
Yeah,
next day, or
just
wait a couple hours. Take a
yeah.
nap. Eat some food.
Ex- exactly. No one's giving you any pressure to do so.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Goof, I appreciate you being a guest here,
Yeah.
and I'm stoked to continue to know you and hopefully see you at a convention and hopefully have you on as a returning guest here in the future. And I look forward to watching your career with great interest, in the words of Senator Palpatine.
I was just gonna say I got that one. No, but seriously, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And this is my first like podcast I've ever been on,
Yeah.
and first person that I've been on a call with who
Yeah.
is in the Lego space and has and makes content and has that kind of following. So
Yeah.
I'm super grateful for it, and
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough.
Of course, man. Hey, I look forward to continue to talking to you and have you back on, man.
Yeah.
And so thanks for watching, everybody, and for the replay gang. Thanks for clicking the video. I guess I don't know, but until next time, thanks for watching.